कुमार स्वामी नायक है गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, refuge in the ruins saves woman and child. No major damage to government infrastructure. And Minister consoles family of cyclone victim.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nana.
Bulawanaka, Fiji. Yanganga villager Akosita Vitalina spent 3 hours underneath the floor of her house with her 3-month-old baby as tropical cyclone Yasa ravaged her island in Bua. Vitalina says the upper structure was destroyed, leaving the floor she had to crawl under to keep safe. Sanya Nimbola reports Yanganga was just one of the islands in Bua severely affected by the cyclone.
Akosita Vitalina says she knocked on the door of 4 houses to save her infant from the cyclone.
I ran to the first house while carrying my baby. It was destroyed. We had to run to another house, and it was also blown by the cyclone. The third house was an American aid house donated during the last cyclone. I thought we will be able to be safe there, but we weren't. I had no other choice but to hide underneath the house floor for safety. We were there for 3 solid hours.
Vitalina says it was a frightening experience, but she is grateful no one in her village died.
I was so blessed that nothing happened to my child. The winds were strong and there was heavy rain. I could feel the salt water too. It was coming in all at once. We were so fortunate to still be alive.
Turani Corona Daniel Mataika is calling for assistance from all relevant stakeholders. He says the 170 villages are in need of food and other relief supplies.
We need help now. We have kids, mothers, elders, and we need your assistance in whatever form would be much appreciated.
There are 49 houses on Yanganga Island, of which 23 are fully destroyed. Sainia Nimbola, FBC News.
Well, tropical cyclone Yasa has created havoc in the lives of thousands of people in Vanuatu. Initial assessments indicate infrastructure damage is not as severe. Disaster Management Minister Inia Serwiratu confirms there is no extensive damage to critical bridges and power lines. However, homes, schools and agriculture have been vastly affected. Pranita Prakash has more.
The focus now is on immediate recovery plan and long-term rehabilitation, starting from restoring water to affected areas.
We are doing our very best to restore water supply in some areas, do cuttage where we can, and of course we are also bringing in extra water tanks from Suva while waiting for us to restore through the piping systems. Probably we will just strategically place water tanks and then do water cuttage, because we fully understand that water is a basic need and people do need water.
Distribution of food packs have also started in the affected areas from today.
The priority for now are people in the evacuation centers with the 8,000 packs plus that will be distributed to those that are in the evacuation centers, while the procurement process takes place, and then we will look at the shipments that will be coming in the next few days.
When resident coordinator for Fiji, Sanaka Samarasina, says there is a need to respond faster.
We have pre-positioned supplies for emergency shelter as well as water and sanitation kits and other items in Walu Bay. And we've already started to move these things.
Infrastructure Minister Chone Usamate, who visited the water source in Nambawalu, says the plan is to fully restore supply by this week. A team of technicians from the Water Authority have been deployed to assist in restoring the water supply. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Villagers in Tavewa Island in Bua are picking up the pieces after TC Yasa ravaged their village for 8 straight hours last week. Village elder, 87-year-old Savanada Turangavo, says it was the first time he experienced such an ordeal. Sanya Nimboila reports.
Tropical cyclone Yasa wreaked havoc on Tavewa Island from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Thursday night. Turangabo says it was a scary experience that will haunt him forever.
The church was full. I saw kids hiding for their safety. We watched our houses from inside the church as it got blown away by the cyclone. The rain was very heavy from Thursday afternoon until midnight. It was a very terrifying experience.
Over 10 houses were destroyed by the cyclone, and most villagers say that it is a blessing to still be alive.
We did not eat, we did not sleep. It was scary. Water started to come inside the church. We knew that some will not make it alive the next day. It was an experience I will never forget my whole life.
Winds and heavy rain began at around 3 p.m. Part of my house was blown away. The only thing I had left was my room. But we were so fortunate that no life was taken.
Our house was built 4 years ago after TC Winston. Now it's gone again. We had to start from scratch again.
We cried as we watched everything from inside the church going down. It's like watching a movie. Winds ravaging our houses, water tanks, trees.
It was such an experience.
Tavewa Islanders are requesting assistance to help them get back on track. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
A Fijian government delegation led by Attorney General A.R. Syed Qayyum visited the family of late 46-year-old farmer Ramesh Chand at Love in Bodha Lambasa to offer condolences and support. The UN resident coordinator was also part of the government team visiting communities in the Northern Division. Koroi Tandulala reports.
Residents of Love says it was the first time for them to experience a cyclone of such severity.
The tree was right beside our house and it fell right on our house. It's been a long time since something like this has happened.
To make it worse, there was no network available for us to call out for help after the cyclone had passed. We did whatever we could.
Saddened by the news of a death in the area, the Attorney General, Minister for Education and Minister for Agriculture offered their condolences to the family. The ministers visited the late Chand's family to provide some relief items.
It was really sad for us to hear about the incident that happened here during the height of TC Yasa. The UN resident coordinator is also here with us to see firsthand how people here are affected.
An emotional Rosie Akbar also offered words of encouragement to the late Chand's wife, assuring the people of Love that government will help affected communities rebuild their lives in whatever way possible. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Fijians in cyclone-affected areas have highlighted that getting clean water and basic food items are their top priority. A government delegation led by Attorney General is visiting affected communities in Vanuatu to assess damage and provide solutions to those in need. Koroi Tandulala reports a team from Energy Fiji Limited is also in the north restoring electricity supply.
The AG-led delegation visited numerous affected communities to listen to issues faced by the people on the ground.
A lot of them, in fact, in that area have started building their own roofs, etc., building their own homes. Some people obviously can't do it because the entire house is gone. Right? So there's a different category of people. There are some people whose roofs have gone, but they started hammering it. In the same way we went to Wainikoro the other day, towards Wainikoro Daku area. Yes. People had already put up their roofs.
The people of Bunibau were given assurances by the government that they will be provided with the necessary assistance after the assessment.
We need the government to assist us in whatever way possible after we collectively raise the issue we are facing here.
I don't have money in the bank, nor do I have anything in my retirement fund, as I sell bean for a living. For the little money I earn, I don't know whether to prioritize buying food or timber to repair my house.
Some of us, we have some materials lying around that can help in rebuilding our homes. Our main issue is that we do not have the manpower to help in rebuilding our houses.
Syed Qayyum says different areas have different needs and they are working to help people accordingly.
Obviously, the main destructive path of the cyclone, the eye of the cyclone, went through the Lekutu-Bua area. But obviously, this area has also been affected. So we just wanted to hear from you what are the problems, the extent of the issue, and how we can help.
Government official and other relevant stakeholders will continue their damage assessment in the Northern Division in the next few days. Kurai Tandulala, FBC News.
Up ahead, relief workers told to work hard and stay honest. And TCSA relief drives underway.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Welcome back. 120 personnel who arrived in Nambawalu, Vanwalevu yesterday afternoon have been warned to walk within the law and ensure their work is done in a transparent manner. Led by District Officer Suva Vatia Vasudha, the delegation includes RFMF personnel, Water Authority of Fiji technicians and engineers, NDMO staff, as well as Red Cross staff and volunteers. Minister for Disaster Management Inia Serwiratu has reminded the delegation they have been deployed to restore Vanwalevu to normalcy.
Safety, the 80 kilometers per hour remains. I don't want investigations after this because we damaged some vehicles or whatever. You are responsible, be a responsible citizen, be a responsible civil servant, be a responsible taxpayer. Look after the assets that we are given and let's make sure that we keep it. And the most important thing for me is coordination and information sharing. We are here as a team. We are not here on holiday. We are not here for sightseeing. We are here for some serious work.
The delegation arrived with 10,000 food packs of initial relief supplies for those in evacuation centers. In an effort to help rebuild homes in Vanwalevu, which were ravaged by TC Yasa, Suva Forklift Hire will be working with Fijians from nearby areas. Managing Director Muhammad Sareem says they've started a drive and many companies and Fijians overseas have shown support through cash donations. Kelly Vadala reports.
The company aims to assist hundreds of Fijians affected in the north with $60 food packs already organized as part of its supplies.
We will be taking those over to Vanwalevu on Wednesday, and immediately upon reaching Nambawalu, we'll start distribution from there. We are working with the government team that is coordinating the distribution so that everybody has been given some rations to start off.
Sareem says cleanup campaign for affected areas is also part of their schedule, along with building back homes for victims of TC Yasa.
So from here we are trying to take hammers, pinch bars, tools that they will need because everybody's house is down. So in the village they might have only few hammers and pinch bars, so everybody needs it. So we'll bring them and we'll try and help rebuild their houses apart from the rations that we are doing.
As a company we need to go and help our family and friends in Northern and help them to rebuild after the cyclone Yasa.
The company will also provide stationery needs for affected students. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
And a group of musicians in Nandi are holding a concert tomorrow to help Fijians in Vanwalevu. Some of the artists who are involved in the event include Suli Ului Lakemba, YouTube sensation Inosi and Mila Karikaritu, Georgina Lendua and Play T Hot Shots. The organizers say many Fijians are suffering, and with Christmas this week, they are hoping to assist as many families as they can.
Past the Western Division has always been at the end of brutal force of natural disasters, and our brothers and sisters from the north and from the central and the eastern have always lended us a helping hand. So we just thought, why not give back to them? We're all facing COVID together, but they are at another level in terms of challenges.
And the fundraiser concert will be held tomorrow at the Nair Dais in Nandi from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Genesi Shipping Limited is providing free services for relief items to Savu Savu and Nambawalu. Chief Executive William Vulivuli says citizens have a social obligation to support each other during difficult times. With the approval of the National Disaster Management Office, GSL has already sent some relief supplies. The company will be shipping 27,000 food kits, building materials and tents tomorrow. Vulivuli says the delivery also includes building materials, clothes, food, water and water tanks.
Came for shelter during the cyclone,
and we are heading back north. So rather than running empty with space, we decided to fill the space up with cargo and hurricane relief goods and services that can help.
And now to business with Koroy Tandulala.
Thanks, Edwin. Coming up after the break, Christmas in the city gets underway tomorrow, and Pumua Fiji taps into market. Stay with us.
Pula nadang go apros lang kerse, go erkraki, do Tavewa na barong na Radio Fiji 1, na domibit.
Radio Fiji 1.
The joy of the festive season is building up as the city of Suva is getting all geared up for Christmas in the city, which begins tomorrow. Suva Retailers Association President Jitesh Patel says the city is on sale with prices reduced on a variety of products. He is urging the public to take advantage of the sale, but to ensure they spend wisely.
After TC Yasa, we know a lot of people are suffering in the north and everywhere, but we want to keep the spirit of Christmas going. So we are planning to have Christmas in the city from tomorrow, Tuesday, till Thursday. And we'll be having carols at midday, Santa Claus moving around town, and bring some livelihood, bit of liveliness in the city.
The city sale will end this Thursday. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has begun its second phase of the pilot project for voluntary compliance framework with Colombo Investment Trading as Shop and Save supermarket. The voluntary compliance signing was for the supermarket branches in Singotoka and Lambasa. Shop and Save Director Nishil Kusun says they strive to adhere to the standards and regulations of the supermarket industry. The voluntary compliance framework is a set of guidelines that allows the FCCC to ensure businesses operate in a fair manner on a competitive level while protecting the rights of consumers. Sharon from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the trading world.
Good evening. The riskier Aussie and Kiwi currencies weakened at the start of the holiday shortened trading week as investors rushed for safe haven assets. Against the greenback, the Aussie dollar dropped 0.5%, while Kiwi was down 0.6%. The US dollar rose against major peers, with investors seeking its relative safety as many countries tightened their pandemic lockdowns. It also got a bit of boost from news that a deal had been struck on a long-awaited US stimulus bill, as well as the delay of Brexit agreements. The dollar's rebound came after it sank to a 2.5-year low. The week ahead is pegged with GDP stats from Britain, the Eurozone and the US. Although economies around the world rebounded at a stronger than expected pace in the third quarter from the COVID-19 economic crash, investors will be closely following annualized GDP numbers to draw conclusions. But for now, that's all from HFC Bank. Vinaka.
Here are the local exchange rates as set early this morning. The Fiji dollar was pegged higher today against the Chinese yuan and the US dollar, and also gained on the PNG kina, the yen. It lost some ground against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars and the euro. On to the commodities market, oil remains on the rise, nearing $48 a barrel. Gold rose more than $40 to close at $1,898 per ounce, and silver closed down slightly at $24.64 per ounce. Some small businesses in the Western Division have expanded their reach to Suva to sell their goods on weekends. With a slow market demand in Nadi, Pumua Fiji, a catering business owned by two cousins, is thriving in the capital. Co-owner Hans Fatiaki says the pandemic has caused them to try and think outside the box. After running a jewelry business, Fatiaki says they have had to look for other alternatives like selling food and juice to try and cushion the impact of the pandemic.
Well, coming from Nandi, obviously Suva has like a bigger market, offers like more customers, so that's really good for the business as well as our families. So far we only use the markets that's going on for our platform, but we're hoping to expand maybe in time to come.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you next with the latest in sports.
Good evening. In sports tonight, PGFA proposes changes to CBC series. And Fiji swimming Olympic qualifier begins tomorrow. There's some more coming up.
कुमार सर ने नाइक है गोमवा लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में
Fiji football may make some changes to the champion versus champion series next year in light of the devastation caused by TC Yasa. Due to the current circumstances, Lambasa, which was to host one game against Suva, may have to play both matches at the NZ Stadium. Karlaini Tavi with the details.
Fiji FA Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf says they have taken the current situation into consideration and they will wait for the board's final decision next month.
The scheduled champion versus champion series was scheduled to be in Lambasa on the 23rd of January and a return match on the 31st in Suva. There could be a change to the program. We will defer the 23rd match and possibly the board will now have to approve in the new year whether we'll host both matches in Suva.
The main concern of the Lambasa football side is getting their team ready for the champion versus champions next month.
Lambasa has to come out strong and the squad we have, and it's my main concern at the moment is the preparation. At the moment nearly everybody is affected. All the players, even including me, the coaching staff, we are all affected by this cyclone. And I don't know when we will get time to prepare the team.
Lambasa is the current Quartz Interdistrict champion, while Suva holds the Vodafone Premier League title and the Vodafone Fiji Fact. Karolini Tavi, FBC Sports.
Being a dominant figure in the international cricket arena is the core aim of national cricket coach Joeli Mateawa. Currently guiding the extended Fiji women's squad, Mateawa has identified a few factors to address before international events scheduled for next year. Tali Materkula reports.
The national cricket coach has made his intentions clear.
Everything is possible as long as you know what to do so that you can teach the right skills to the athletes, which is interesting in any sports.
Mateawa says to make an impact internationally, they will need to select a formidable team.
Because there are some minor sports in this country. Little athletes are interested in these sports. But we are trying our best to pick a team that can take us back to the arena of international.
With a focus set on upskilling women, officials have been astounded with increased interest shown.
My Fiji perspective is actually quite good. Good in the sense that we've got the quantity. Yeah? We've always struggled to have women come into play, but we've done well enough this year to go from 4 teams to now 15 teams. Now we're working on the quality.
The women's squad will go through a series of trials before a final team is selected in April. Tali Materkula, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Swimming Long Course Open Championships scheduled for last Saturday has now been shifted to tomorrow at the Damoda Aquatic Centre in Suva. Fiji Swimming President Ben Roba says in light of the recent cyclone, they had to make changes to the program. Around 40 swimmers are expected to compete over the 2-day tournament. Also competing are the 8 swimmers hoping to make the qualifying time for the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games. Manchester United has climbed to 3rd place on the Premier League ladder after a 6-2 victory over old rivals Leeds United. The hosts found their feet early in the match with 2 early goals to Scott McTominay. Now, the play of the day, world number 1 Ko Jin Young shot a final round 6 under par 66 to win golf's CME Group Tour Championship by 5 shots. The South Korean pulled away from the pack with 5 birdies over the last 9 holes for 18 under. That's it from Sports Tonight. In new media, Apple put supplier on probation after India factory violence. Details after the break.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Welcome back. In new media, Apple has placed its supplier Wistron on probation, saying it will not contract new business with a Taiwanese manufacturer until it addresses the way workers are treated at its southern India plant. And now for tonight's weather with Vanina.
Good evening. With the remnants of Yasa far off to the southeast, all of Fiji saw fine weather today. In the west, it was a warm, sunny day under mostly clear skies. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, skies were partly cloudy with some brief scattered showers. And up north, conditions were generally fine with occasional light showers. At sea, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots and moderate seas. The next high tide will be at 1:10 tomorrow morning, followed by low tide at 7:33 a.m. Sunrise is at 6:28. Fine weather is expected to continue into tomorrow with an increasing chance of showers or occasional thunderstorms in the north and east. Temperatures will remain in the low 30s. Looking ahead to Wednesday, more of the same with an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms in the north and along eastern shores. That's the weather for now, and it's back to Edwin.
In Fijian Pulse, we asked, will you be revising your Christmas plans because of TC Yasa?
Even though this TC Yasa, but since our village is not affected, we'll enjoy our moment, our Christmas moment in the village with our families and friends out there in the village.
I just plan to go and see my big brother in Watkola and want to send something for my son from Tavewa, but it's big change.
It looks like we will change our Christmas plan after Yasa, and we were planning for us to visit our village, and right now we will change our plan.
So I was supposed to go and spend Christmas in the island, but now I'll have to go and visit my family in Condolences.
And recapping our main stories, refuge in the ruins saves woman and child, no major damage to government infrastructure, and government consoles family of cyclone victim. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, last week we asked, do you think social media users should be held accountable for their contents on these platforms? And 64% answered yes. This week we are asking, and the question is on your screen now, is Christmas too commercial? Visit our FBC website to answer. And on to our shot of the day, an aerial view of Lekutu and Yanganga following tropical cyclone Yasa, taken by Nitendra Prasad. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our various social media pages including Facebook, Twitter, and we're also on Instagram. And that is your news for this evening. Until tomorrow, Modemanda.
कुमार सर ने नाइक है गोंगवा लेबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।